Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 188. It is Wednesday morning, and it's time to get moving. Yesterday, pretty not so great day. Yesterday we went to work, we had meetings, we went to the casino twice, we made a total of $71 at the casinos. We made about $50 online. And then actually last night made a little over $100 online. So not the greatest day, but you know what? Still, if you make $300 a day, that's still $9,000 a month. Without high risk, it's not so bad. So I'm not going to be upset about it. We're going to do what we can do all the time. I did cash out a bunch of credit card stuff this month, a couple $1,000s. In fact, I just did $525 more this morning before leaving home. And today, like I said, it's Wednesday. Normally a big travel day. We're not going to have a big travel day today. One of my kids has a game this early evening, and if I did my normal travel, I would never be able to make it because it's actually 2.5 hours from where I would be. So it's still far from home, but it's better for me to do things a different way today. So today's agenda is going to be, we're going to go to the office and check in instead of doing it on Thursday, and that opens us up to a possible overnight tomorrow depending on how things go. So we're going to go check in, we're going to go to the casino, we're going to grab some food, go back to the casino, then we're going to go to the poker club, and then back to the casino, and then to the game. So we're going to have 3 sessions. I expect to make 300 or 400 from those sessions. I'd love to make 300 or 400 from the poker, and potentially some online stuff as well. I'll have my laptop with me, so I'll have the potential to be working, and I'll have the potential to be playing online at the same time that I'm at the table. So a lot of good possibilities there. Not the ideal situation, but I think that's best for today. Our 1776 countdown is going pretty strong. We should be done with the amendments to the Constitution, most likely, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, probably this week, maybe by Sunday. And then we'll be done with the Constitution and those documents and stuff, and we'll be moving on to other things. I will be throwing in probably 5 states every once in a while. But there are so many other things that I want to cover. We've only covered about 160 or so items so far, so we're not even 10% of the way through. So a lot of stuff still to come. Today is a beautiful day, 74 degrees outside, like a marble outside, and the sky is like a blue marble. No clouds right now. The sun is just up. Everything looks bright and good. So let's get out there, do our best, make some money. Hopefully we find a couple big plays today. One of our biggest games that we played, probably made half our money almost, was just taken out of the casino. I do have the ability to make a change today as well and go to some other smaller casinos, if you can believe that, and play, but I doubt that'll happen unless something really unusual happens. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, just leaving the office, heading to the casino, and we've really pretty much got all the time in the world right now, so there's no way that we're not going to be able to finish a couple laps at this casino right now. We're going to do that, then we're probably going to go take care of some other business, come back to the casino, get some food, and go play some poker. So that's the immediate plan. There was one meeting on the schedule for today. It's been canceled, so nothing wrong with that. So we're in really, really good shape. We just have to kind of show our faces online every 20 or 30 minutes, and we should be fine. So right now we're heading to the casino, 77 degrees outside, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and that was 99.9% miserable. And then one little glimmer of hope at the end. I walked in, I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, I don't even walk to this side anymore because there's not a single machine on half of the casino. That one whole side, there's nothing over there. So I walk the other direction. I find a play. $8 a spin. Good position, ready to go, ready to make some money. Okay, baby, let's sit down, make some money. Sit down, miserable. It hits right away, pays pretty much nothing. Loses $105 or something like that. Go to this back area, find something there, play that. I get like 40 of it back, so I'm down about 60 something dollars. Walking, looking, play a couple little things. I'm talking tiny plays, things that in the past you would just walk right by, you wouldn't even worry about it. And I mean, you'd wait till the end to play it because they're so small. There's more valuable stuff out there usually. So now I'm down about 35 and I'm getting ready to go play a few more. I'm down like 20. I'm like, okay, well, 20 is not bad. Let's get out of here, down 20. I see one more play. This is under $1 a spin. Within 3 spins it hits. Pays huge. And I end up leaving ahead exactly, well, not exactly, $140.01. So almost exactly $140 ahead. And I'm like shocked because I'm ready to leave. I'm frustrated, walking around forever, not finding anything. And you never know when it's going to happen. But still, this place is trash. So what are you going to do? All right, right now I'm going to take care of some personal business, and then we'll head back to the casino in a little while, and then get ourselves on the waiting list for poker. All right, so that's what's going on right now. Temperature's still skyrocketing, over 80 degrees already, and still early in the morning. And these guys were offering this special. If you spend like $1,000 or something through the machines, which I'm sure I did easily, you get $10 in food. Isn't that generous? $1,000, you get 1% back in food. And then, I mean, I didn't even do it. I'm sure I qualified for it, but all the food places are closed. So they're not even open 24 hours a day. So you can't get food even if you wanted it, even though you just earned it. So if you earn it like 12:01 a.m., you got to wait like 11 or 12 hours before you can use it, and it has to be used that day. Doesn't that sound reasonable to you? I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. They wonder why people hate them so much. Even their own employees are talking trash. So anyway, all right, guys, let's take care of this, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I went back to the casino, and it was worse than before. I ended up leaving ahead $1 plus $1. I did print out my coupon for the free food, and there was nothing that I wanted. And I actually went through a drive-through instead, and I did have enough to get 2 frozen coffees, and I got 2 of them. I gave one of them to the bartender and kept one for myself. And right now I'm stuck in traffic. I don't know why at this time of day that there'd be a bunch of traffic, but I'm stuck in traffic. I did get on the list to play poker. I thought it went by the clock and exactly at the exact second it would open, but I think someone actually pushes a button. It opened about 10 seconds early, and luckily I was refreshing my screen and saw it, and I'm 3rd on the list, so I've got a seat, and it's a little ways away, so I should be getting there right around the time that the place opens, and hopefully we have a good day playing poker. I'm going to play for a minimum of 2 hours, and if everything goes well, after 2 hours, after 2 hours, I don't know who he's mad at. After 2 hours, I'll head back to the casino and go for one more lap. If it doesn't go well, I may stick around and try to recover any losses I might have and skip the casino. And then one of my kids has got a game, so I'll be traveling to that, and that will take a while to get there as well. So a lot of stuff going on. We'll see how it goes. Right now, taking my time. Going to get to the poker club right on time, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am just leaving this, I don't know what you call this place, card shop, game store, whatever, and just got a booster bundle, Pokemon booster bundle, Pitch Black. I don't know, I'm not hearing tremendous things about Pitch Black, but this place has a limit of 1, and they still had some in stock, so I did grab one. It's got 6 booster packs in it, so we'll take that and put it with the other ones that we have. And I'm excited about getting to a show pretty soon and maybe selling some of these things and using the profit to buy my son some of the cards that he wants. So anyway, right now we're going to continue on. We're only a few minutes away from the poker club. We should be there right on time. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So just left the poker club, and it was actually pretty tough. The play was really disjointed. Like, people were playing, getting up. The dealer wasn't feeling well. Big bets, little bets, everyone folding, people walking around. It was really kind of an aggravating situation because we'd have 2 or 3 people missing. Then the dealer didn't feel well, and I finally said, dude, you need to get up and you need to take care of yourself. You don't need to be getting sick at the table. He was sweating like crazy. He wasn't feeling well, and so we had someone else fill in for him for a while, and he went and got some water and felt better and came back like an hour later. And then along with all the people in and out, people busting, different people, they're on the way, they're late getting there, all this crazy stuff. And I started off pretty hot. I was ahead like almost 200 right away, like 180, 190 right away. And I got stubborn on a hand. I should have known. I'd beat this guy on a big hand, and then later on he ended up flopping a set, and I had a big 2 pair, and I should have known because he was just betting too small. And I ended up calling it. Ended up losing almost 400 on that hand. So I had bought 500 in chips, bought in for 200, then one more for 3, and then I lost all that and bought in for my last 200, and built that up a little bit, but still ended up leaving down. I played for about 2 hours and 45 minutes and ended the session down $119, so minus 119. It's okay. I mean, it's going to happen sometimes. I mean, I've had a really, really, really good run at this place lately, and it's bound to happen sometime. So, anyway, yeah, minus 119. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back, and man, I'm having trouble with my phone. Thank goodness I ordered a new one, because this one is starting to fall apart. The screen is coming off. It's losing internet, getting it back, losing it, back and forth. So it's going to be good to move on with another phone. So minus 119 there. While I was there, I did play online as well, and actually did pretty well online, a little over 300. But I don't get excited about it because I only update my online stuff about once a month on my spreadsheet, and you're going to have up and down, up and down. So getting excited about that is nice, but it doesn't mean that's how it's going to end up, right? It's just like in a casino, you win at a table. It doesn't mean you're leaving with it. You got to get out the door with the money before it's yours. So until I cash out the money, and right now I'm actually waiting for, I just got to cash out yesterday. I'm waiting for another one to go through. Then I have a third one that I have to put through. So very annoying to have to wait all that time for it. So I was going to go to my kids' game, but decided against it because I guess it's just a scrimmage and no one else is going to be there and all this stuff. So, okay, fine, I won't go to it. But what we are going to do is head back to the casino, see if we can make some money. Overall today, net, we're ahead a couple $100, maybe 300 tops. and we'll see what happens. Actually, while I was playing online at the club, I was trying to look at the screen. I tapped the screen and I accidentally bet and ended up winning a big hand by mistake. It was like, I mean, not huge, but I'm playing 20 cent, 50 cent, $1, and I won a $60 hand by mistake. So that's pretty nice for that size. Anyway, all right, let's head back to this casino as my internet just came back on and off, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and you know what? I've been here now 3 times today, and there are multiple people in there from 5 and 6 hours ago that are still playing the same slot machine that they were this morning. Is that like mind-blowing or what? Spin, click, 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 click. Oh, 2 cents. Spin, and they're just slow playing it. Oh my gosh, how can they stand it, man? How can they stand it? So there was a lot of that. Trying to roll back here. First machine I sat at was the same as, it was actually exactly the same machine that burned me this morning. And again, it burned me. I was down about 140 on that one right away. Moved on to another machine. That got me back within $4. And I was like, okay, well, I'm good, and played. Well, actually, then I was going to the back area to see what was over there, and I got a message from my manager on Teams, and he said, when you get a minute, I want to talk to you about some ideas I had. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I said, yeah, give me 10 minutes to wrap up what I'm doing, which is playing at the casino, of course, and didn't find anything in that area. And then the last machine I looked at was like the most set up perfectly machine that you could imagine, and within like 3 spins at, how much was it, 80 cents I think a spin, I ended up winning almost $100. Actually, there was one machine in between there that I won a few bucks on, but I ended up leaving ahead $90, so plus 90 there. And then I went back to the car, and I called the manager, and he's like, yeah, we're going to be getting a new person, and before we get that new person, I want to kind of align everything and make sure everybody's doing certain jobs, and we need some help with this queue, and it's been backed up for a long time. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, I do my part. Everything that's in the queue that's mine is always done on time. And he's like, yeah, I was just wondering if maybe you'd kind of like to manage the queue and assign it to the correct people. Sorry. So he's like, I was wondering if you want to be like the person who assigns it to the right person. And then if they ask, hey, why did this get assigned to me? Then we can just say, hey, that's what you're responsible for now. And we can just break it down that way. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good with that, because that's been a problem with me. I mean, I don't like the way that they do that stuff. There's a queue, and I'll assign stuff to people because I know that's what they work on, and I'll take care of all my stuff every morning, every afternoon, and at the end of the day, every day, I go through my queue. I have about, I think yesterday I looked at just one of the queues. I had 1,400 items that I took care of. Way more than everybody else. More than everyone else combined times 3 or 4. All right? And that's just because of the position that I'm in, not because I'm better than anyone. It's because the stuff that I do is handling problems like that. They're more research and other stuff like that. So then I'll assign it to them, and they'll only be like 30 or 40 tickets, and they'll stay in there for months and months and months. So maybe now they'll get off their butt and do something about it. And I told them, most of the ones we have in there are already assigned, and some of that stuff is probably already done, but they need to look at it and decide whether or not it's done and take care of it and wrap up the ticket. Because we have a certain SLA, that's, service time that we have to have everything done in. And I take care of everything on my end as soon as it comes in. If I see it, I take care of it. So I told them, yeah, I would do that. So I guess that's probably good, but I don't want to be like managing anything. I just want to, do my job, be quiet, be invisible, And if anyone asks about me, I want them to say, oh yeah, he's a good guy. And that's it. I don't need to get a bunch of recognition and, oh, you're so great, we're going to give you this extra responsibility. I'm way beyond that in my life. I've had so many times in my life where I've gotten promotions I didn't want, or I wasn't promoted because I was too good at my job or something like that. All I want to do right now is just relax and ride out my time until I retire. So anyway, I know that doesn't sound like a very, ambitious way to do things, but that's where I am in life right now. So anyway, just wrapped up there, ended my session ahead $90, and just moving on. Traffic is just a beast right now. So I'm on the highway doing 37 right now, and we're slowing down, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, let's move on to some segments here. This is the 1776 countdown, where I count down the top 1,776 reasons why I love the United States of America. And we're going to be looking at the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st Amendments. And there's a reason that we're going to end at the 21st and not the 20th. So the 18th Amendment was prohibition in 1919. Prohibition banned the manufacture, sale, or transportation of alcoholic beverages. It did not ban drinking alcoholic beverages. You just can't manufacture it or sell it or transport it. Okay, how are you supposed to drink it then? So one of the biggest mistakes ever made, I always say, if it's a law that's easy to get around, then it's a stupid law. There's a lot of laws that are just ridiculous. You just make one small change and all of a sudden it's legal. There's some gambling laws in my area that people just got around by making a small change, that companies even got around by making small changes, and they're all stupid changes. Even like in California, roulette and craps are not legal, but they found a way to get around them with cards instead of a ball or dice, and that's just ridiculous. So the 18th Amendment to the Constitution, ratified in 1919, is prohibition. You can't manufacture or sell or transport alcohol. The 19th Amendment is a big one, ratified in 1920, and that is women's suffrage. What is women's suffrage? That's they guaranteed the right to women to vote. So it prohibits states from denying the right to vote based on sex. Now, some states, I believe, already had women voting prior to this, but then Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Stanton, who Susan B. Anthony is, she's on the $1 coin, which I like those. Actually, those are one of my favorite coins, is the Susan B. Anthony. And, of course, it greatly increased the number of voters in the country. And if you think about it now, there's more women who can vote than men. So you hear people saying, like, well, it's not fair, America hasn't elected a woman president. Well, if all the women would vote for a woman president, there would be only a woman president. So that's not what I think is important. I think what's important is putting someone in there based on their abilities. And obviously some women have come pretty close to president and vice president, at least 2 for president and at least 2 for vice president. So, it's just a matter of time. And then still, women of color still had some barriers, obviously, at that point. The 20th Amendment is the lame duck amendment. That's ratified in 1933. That just moved the inauguration for the president from March 4th to January 20th. Can you imagine if the election is held November 3rd or 4th or 5th, and you're sitting there until March 4th before you get into office? It also moved the new congressional terms to January 3rd, so it shortened what's called the lame duck period. Lame duck period is the time between the time that you lose your re-election and the time that you leave office. So, and then it also established procedures about what would happen if a president-elect died before taking office. And it helped to basically ensure a faster transition of power after elections. Now, a lot of places around the world think we're really strange because we wait till January 20th. In a lot of countries, you win the election, the next day you're in. That's just not the way that we do it here, though. And then, of course, the 21st Amendment one of the make sense amendments. And it's kind of weird, because I think what they should do is, instead of using an amendment to get rid of another amendment, to repeal another amendment, they should just strike through the other amendment and just put a note at the end that it was repealed. But 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment, ending prohibition. So prohibition, 1919, it went 14 years before being repealed. And a lot of the famous people in politics now, a lot of families who are famous in politics right now, Kennedys and others, became rich at that time from bootlegging, from making illegal alcohol, selling it, all that kind of stuff. So the 21st Amendment is the only amendment adopted specifically to repeal another amendment. So, and then it returned a lot of the authority to regulate alcohol back to the states where it was supposed to be. And then some states just decided just to stay what they call dry for a lot of years after Prohibition ended. In fact, there were some counties that were still dry 2 years ago when we went on a trip, and there was a county that actually started selling alcohol for the first time ever when we were on this trip a couple years ago, which is just insanity that it went that far. I mean, when I was a kid, they couldn't sell alcohol before a certain time of day, and wine was a different time of day. You can't buy it too early and stuff like that. But that's just really kind of crazy. So, and that marked a major shift towards state control of alcohol laws rather than federal control, which, like I said, makes more sense to have it be localized control of certain laws, of most laws, because those laws are going to pertain more to the people in that area rather than one big law across the country that may or may not make sense for your local jurisdiction. So that is the 18th through the 21st Amendments of the United States. All right, guys, let's do some other segments here. What did you eat today, MW? I had a lot to eat today, actually. This morning I used some points to get a free Whopper Jr., and then I had a double cheeseburger also. That's what I had for lunch. They were mediocre. I'm going to give both of them an 8 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then after I finished at the poker club, I went to Wendy's and I had a chili and a Dave's single. It's like a single cheeseburger, and they were actually pretty good. They looked good and they tasted good. I'm going to give those a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did I tip today? I tipped, I want to say $12 or $13, $1 for each hand of poker that I won. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, just in the last few minutes, last hour or so, I learned from my manager that they feel like I'm doing so much work, but would it be possible for me to manage this small thing that they want to add? Because they feel like people are just ignoring things, and they need someone who's going to have some authority to assign things to people. And they know my queue is always empty. When you look at the queue, there's nothing assigned to me because I get my stuff done. So they want me to kind of pressure other people to get their stuff done. And then just to say, if you don't know how to do this, let's get together and have a meeting, and then you can train, I can train you, or if you need help, you can train me on how to do it, and I can give you more assistance, and we can knock out these tickets, because the SLA is more important now than it was before, because now we're going to have more people working, and so there's no excuse for having a long SLA. So that's really it right now. Right now, heading home, 94 degrees outside, and I was thinking about doing an overnight trip tomorrow, but now I'm reconsidering here because I think we might have a funeral to go to tomorrow. So I got to figure that out tonight, and if so, we'll still take a long trip tomorrow. We did check in at work today, so potentially we could do an overnight, but I think we're supposed to also, actually I think it's not going to be a funeral, it's going to be more of like a get-together. So I don't know if the person was cremated or not, but because we're supposed to bring some stuff to that. So yeah, we'll have to figure out what time all that is, and you got to be there for your friends. It's more important than money. If I was out of town already, that would be different, but you know, if I was in Vegas or somewhere that I had to fly to, is different. But if it's somewhere within driving range, I need to be there for my friends. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to head home, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.